All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, Rich Cimini of ESPN is reporting that Garrett Wilson is quote-unquote thrilled to be reunited with quarterback Justin Fields. As we all know, they played together back at Ohio State. By the way, along with new center Josh Myers and, of course, Jeremy Ruckert at tight end. But Cimini goes on to say, Wilson and Fields spent 2 years together at Ohio State. Wilson has told friends he's quote-unquote thrilled Fields has signed with the Jets. And then dating back to in the pre-draft process, Cimini writes, if that would happen, that would be awesome. Wilson said at the time, I haven't really thought about where I'd be playing. Anywhere would be a blessing. Definitely to link back up with Justin and do that on the NFL level would be a dream come true for sure. I mean, this is sweet, right? This is one of the benefits with bringing Justin Fields in. You get the age, you get the potential, you get one of the best rushing quarterbacks in football, you get someone with still room left to grow, right? We have not seen the best of Justin Fields, at least in my opinion, right? Now, will we see that this upcoming season? Only time will tell, but at least it's a roll of the dice. At least there's the chance that Fields can get better. There's the chance that Fields can turn into the next Darnold, the next Geno Smith, the next Baker Mayfield, even though I don't feel like Baker is a perfect comparison, because I don't really feel like Baker tailed off completely. But in any case, why can't Fields be the next reclamation project at the quarterback position? Former first-round pick, written off, been tossed aside, and now he has a new opportunity with a brand new team and a brand new coaching staff that's saying, hey, you're our guy, even if it's just for one season, right? I know it's the 2-year deal, but even if it's just the Jets saying, and I've been talking about this a lot, but just wrapping their arms around him and saying, Justin, we're building the offense around you. You are our guy. We're not bringing in Mariota or Wentz or someone else. You're QB1. I think that's really going to bode well because there hasn't really been that situation before. And yes, of course, he was the QB1 back in Chicago, but that never really felt like the coaching staff was adamant about designing the offense around Fields' skill set. And so, look, if we can get any sort of resemblance of what those two guys did, Garrett Wilson and Justin Fields did back at Ohio State for this Jets team, I mean, we're going to be in a pretty good spot. But I like how we're getting off on the right foot. I like how, we're going into the offseason. Oh, could Garrett Wilson request a trade? Are the Jets going to re-sign him? Are they going to actually hand out a new deal and be proactive like the Eagles, like the Buffalo Bills, and not find themselves in a situation where they're waiting until the last minute, like the Dallas Cowboys or, a team like that, essentially having to pay more, right? Because the more first of all, the more the cap goes up, the more players are going to ask for, the more that other players are getting paid, the more other players are going to ask for. It's just like, really, it comes down to this. Do you envision Garrett Wilson on this team for the long haul? If the answer is yes, you pay him now. If the answer is no, then you trade him and see what you can get. But the answer to me is never just let him play out the deal, run the risk of him becoming disgruntled and dealing with the holdout and dealing with that new head coach in Aaron Glenn and the new GM and Darren Muji having to sit up there and answer questions about why Garrett isn't in camp and everything. It's just a weird situation. Either pay him if you want him, or if you don't want him, trade him and move on. But again, with this, the Fields-Wilson connection here, and who knows, maybe it's being blown out of proportion, but I do think there is something there. Now, as far as a Garrett Wilson contract extension, right, what would that look like? I honestly think it would be pretty similar to what T. Higgins literally just got with the Cincinnati Bengals. 4 years, $115, averaging out to around like $27-28 million per season. I think in this day and age, 2025 going into 2026, right when that extension really kicks into effect, I think that's totally fair, especially that Wilson is the wide receiver one. He is the first option in this passing attack for the Jets, where, I mean, you're looking at, some other high paid receivers. Again, T. Higgins, he's not the number one. You're looking at Jalen Waddle. He's not the number one. Age, of course, plays into effect. How long is Tyreek Hill going to, be that wide receiver one? Of course, only time will tell. So it's good to have Waddle, the younger guy, under contract as well. But St. Brown. There's a lot of mouths to feed with the Detroit Lions offense. That's a team that wants to run the football, but also paid one of their own homegrown guys here. So I think it's going to be somewhere similar, around that mark. I don't see Garrett, exceeding $30 million annually. I think it's going to be in those high 20s, but I think it's only going to stick in those high 20s if the Jets get it done this offseason. I think if we start waiting around a year from now all of a sudden we could be talking about, low 30s, depending on where the market's at. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section on this. Are you really buying into this whole Fields, Garrett Wilson, Ohio State connection? Or are you just kind of thinking, okay, this is just semantics at this point, and it's really not that big of a deal? So anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. And as always, go Jets. By the way, I have a ton of topics that I'm really, really excited to get into here. Let me just actually quickly count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 topics written down here, which I'm just going to drop all those videos as the days go by here. So I appreciate you sticking with me. I'm pumped for the draft. I'm pumped to see how everything plays out. Anyway, thanks so much, and as always, go Jets.